it was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Be
forward.
like a horse with blinkers on.
Honestly say, I was about to have
Corrupt
sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
Hi, I'm Mark Bellingham. I trained as a chef in 1988 and I became an artist in 2000. I've been around the world twice, one by ship and one by walking.
Hi, I'm Sonia Genes. I'm a local citizen of SA. I work for production. I'm a production manager working for an advertising agency.
Hi, I'm Domenico Gianni Velati from Italian descent but a South African. I'm a motor mechanic and here I am.
Hi, I'm Francisca Lambert. I'm a capetonian. I work as a sales coordinator for a hydraulic company.
My name is Eric Johnston. I'm a coordinator, fitness coordinator, instructor for law enforcement, Metro Police, traffic department, and I make sure these guys are staying in shape, and we're working on it.
And he's a bull supporter.
Every vote counts, I reckon, and so much so in Cape Town. It's come down to percentages, and I just hope that everything's done fair and square. You know what I mean? I'd hate to think that you look down the line and someone says this box was taken and that box was taken. I'd hate to see that. I'd really like to see a fair election, and whoever wins.
But why vote when there's a majority of the? We know who's going to win. We know who's winning. We know who's the majority.
Yeah, well,
overall.
But we're talking about the country, not just Cape Town, eh?
What Cape Town?
Listen here,
Cape Town anyway.
We are still going to be ruled by the ANC, whether Cape Town becomes DA or not.
Yeah.
So does it really make that much difference?
It does make a lot of difference.
I feel that everybody should vote. I think it's unfair for people to sit around and say that what's the point of voting if it's not going to count and that ANC is going to win. You never know. I mean, it might just be a few votes that there might be a majority. Yeah, there might be like 10,000 people out there that's got the same attitudes, and which I've crossed my path already, and you just say, but why? Then you can't sit along in a conversation and debate, because your vote might make a difference.
I voted every year, and this year I decided I'm going to stand in queues for 4 or 5 hours and vote for my party, and eventually my party won't come in. So I won't mention the party's name. I vote for the opposition party, and we all know who that is, and they are running the Cape, the Western Cape.
I was traveling. I was lucky to get work overseas, and I was traveling, and I've come back, and I've got another opportunity to vote, and I think it's really important because sometimes when you're overseas, you want to vote, you can't vote. You know what I mean? But when you're here, you should be part of it. You know what I mean?
You know, I feel on the spine of my back. Is our next president is going to be a woman. Believe it or not.
I hope so.
I believe it or not.
So do I.
I can feel it in my spine.
That would be a great thing.
Yeah.
Really.
I do. I think that would be a great thing if you have a lady, and say like Brazil now, you have a woman in charge and stuff like that. It changes the dynamics.
Who's
because
our mayor at the moment?
No, whatever.
Yes, it's our mayor.
Yeah. So, but
imagine that woman stepping up in the ladders, and I'm not mentioning the party's name. Is that obvious? Imagine that woman becoming president of South Africa.
Do you think that's going to happen? Do you really believe that there's going to be a white president in South Africa ever again? I don't believe that, my friend.
I also feel that as individuals, that everybody should look after, if you just look after your neighbor, we don't have to kind of worry of what the politicians are out there busy doing, because we are so used to generalizing in the sense of, oh, you colored, you African, you white. That one's feeding its pocket because of what happened 10 years ago, what happened before our four sisters and stuff. Just stand together, just make it happen.
The one hand helps the other one in the other. I mean,
you know, you can see the difference. Yes, I agree with you. You can see the difference now on all the parties. There's no more white party or black party or colored party. Like some parties, I won't mention names now because otherwise I'll give my game away. There's different colors in that party. There's a grey party, different white, black, and colored in that party. And there's no differentiation, like you say.
when that discussion comes up, which it comes up a lot, you know what I mean? Like, oh, because of the old days, this is how it is now. When that discussion comes up, how do you actually say, listen, well, I'm actually not talking about the discussion. I'm talking about the things that are happening now, and you're bringing up the past all the time. It's very different. It's very difficult.
Start talking about
That's the thing. A lot of people start living in the past, which is wrong.
But we all do.
Yes, you do, but focus on the present.
with a certain
and on
color.
the future.
Yes. With a certain color says we were previously disadvantaged. We are now presently disadvantaged.
Advantage. Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like I feel we are presently disadvantaged.
I feel what people did 30, 40, 50 years ago, it's got nothing to do with me. I can't choose the color that I am today, and I can't rectify what happened many years ago. All that I can say, we can try and sort it out going forward. But I don't like the stigma where everybody is like, oh, it's because of what happened 40 years ago. You know what it's done is dusted.
We to blame for what our
So for the-
forefathers done.
So for the rest of my life, I meet, I'm in advertising, so you meet all kinds of people all across the border, walks of life. And it's funny because you still kind of get across where you speak to somebody and that race will come up where, oh, but
normally.
it's so irritating because you don't live like that. I mean, I don't think of color at all. When I'm in a conversation, I don't think of color because I wasn't brought up where maybe I was too young, so I don't know what happened before the time, which I've heard was quite bad. I do agree on that. But I don't like it where they say, oh yeah, because you guys must still justify what happened many years ago. Nonsense. Really.
I was forced, when I was a young boy, I was 18 years old. I was forced to serve on the southwest
African army.
Namibian border.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it, and I was forced to do it. And they were like Russians coming over, black Russians, and the Russian. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but anyway, and we had to keep the enemy that side of the border, and I didn't agree with it. I didn't agree what the old South African army did, or old South African defense force did. And my own people, my own white buddies spoke the same language as me, wanted to kill me right there and then, because I was protecting the other color. I didn't
Play the game.
agree what they were doing. I said, but why are you doing it? Why you want to keep them back? Why are you fighting against what they think is right? Why are you fighting against, I said, that's racism. Oh, gee, they were almost killed me, I promise you, they almost killed me.
Firstly, that war was a lie. We all know that now.
Thank you, sir.
We learned that afterwards. I was called up to Oshikati, and I
was in Rundu, Sector 20.
and it was a lie. But we learn it now, you know what I mean? We know afterwards, like Nixon and stuff like that. But to win that war, you had to go dirty, and there was no other way around it.
Who won the war eventually?
No one won the war. And
Who
now
won
you've
the
got
war?
in Angola, you've got more limpet mines and mines
Thank you.
in any other country in the world.
So the two of you were reccees then, were you?
No, I was
wasn't
just
a
infantry Green Beret.
Okay, green.
Yes.
I'm
I was 18 years old.
And
And I had to kill people. They forced me to kill people. They actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this
Weren't-
on
weren't
TV.
you
They
conscientious
actually
of-
injected me, I think it was steroids or something, and they made me aggressive. And I loved it. As an older adult, that time I felt it was right. I did it for my country because I had to protect my country, protect the borders of our country. And eventually I realized, but why? Why did we do it? And it didn't make sense to me eventually. Like, we wasted our time, we wasted my childhood. I was 18 years old, I was a child. And they wasted my childhood. They wasted 2 years of my life.
Did then.
But you never had a right then you had to go.
It's conscription.
As a white person,
Yes.
as a white,
Every 18 South African
yes, as a
had to
white
go.
male, as soon as you turn 18, you're out of school. You go to
But
the
no,
army.
look at, can I quickly just look at the difference now? Look at you and look at the 18-year-old now. What's the difference? Oh no, not the, well. Then you went to the army. The 18-year-old now is lying on the street, going to every second drug house, using tick and whatever.
Thank you,
They
friend.
don't
Yeah,
have any responsibility. They don't have. I mean, army taught you a lot of things.
I got more black
Yeah.
friends now than white friends.
If you go to how do you say what's it called, the bull ring now. They've changed it. Yeah. So how many black people are in the stadium?
Unbelievable. You won't believe I went there how many months ago? Was it 6 maanden terug? 7 months when they played the first game at was it Park there in Soweto at New Stadium?
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe how many black people wore the shirt and waved the flag, blue bull flag. You wouldn't believe.
I haven't heard anything genuine about him, so I can't give any positive
Malema.
answers.
Who's that? Who's Julius Malema?
That's a guy that sings Kill the Bird.
I've never heard of
He
him.
knows. What's his name?
I never heard of him. Who?
He's the guy that sings that Kill the Bird.
I've never heard Julius
Where
Malema.
have you been?
Is he in politics? I've never heard of him.
He's going to be.
Can
I
I
actually believe he's going to be our next president.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
No, he's
And
going to.
I must be honest. I think he's a puppet. I don't think he pulls the strings at all. I think someone senior to him would tell him, listen, yeah, I want you to provoke a situation, and I absolutely think he's a puppet. And but he's not stupid, eh?
Doesn't he remind you of somebody?
Myself.
No. Hitler?
Julius Malema?
Hitler? Who was Hitler? Doesn't he remind you of Hitler?
No, that's too strong.
Well,
No, Hitler's a different ball game.
But isn't he on the same pathway?
No.
Same
No.
mind wave?
Hitler's
Not yet.
But
Hitler's
he's aiming at that pathway. Imagine he becomes president.
to me, an ANC Youth League leader should be promoting education first. Should be going right through the thing. The goals of ANC Youth League should be told abstinence, and if not abstinence, to look after themselves in a sense. And HIV and education in this country are the most important things we have to look at.
I promise I'll vote for you.
No, but it's true. It's the ANC Youth League should be telling these people that, and that's the truth. Like all of us know it, but that's it.
Another question is, remember President Vinger? That guy said, like, when he spoke, he pointed his finger. Who was that?
No.
F.J. de Klerk.
ek kan nou net sê ja, Evie de Klerk.
He never danced on the stage, and he got all the votes. Why must you go stand and dance on the stage to get a vote? Now all of a sudden, Helen Zille start dancing like a
I think that was
dancing. What did Julius Malema call it? You look like a dancing monkey. You want to speak Xhosa, speak it properly.
Did you see the dress you wear? What's it called? The South African flag,
Why
the dress.
dance on
That
the
was a
stage
bad
to get
dress.
over?
But it didn't even have any waves. It was just like a dress, like
If
a
Helen
sarong.
Zille comes to me, she asks me, why didn't you vote for me? She says, you dance kak, man. Julius Malema dance better than you.
So Helen Zille in this area has done amazing things, and I think she's very astute. And the ANC are scared of her because she's.
You believe that she's done good things?
I do.
Show me.
She gets things done.
Show me.
You know what I think it is? I think
I haven't seen it.
both parties kind of pull out each other's dirty washing. That is what the election, if you put on the television, the one's bad mouthing the other one, and this one you need to prove to this one why this hasn't been done and that hasn't been done. Just prove, keep on continuing. What can you do to make it different?
Why always
Show me what
see
they're
the
doing.
bad and not the good?
Show
Why
me what
always see
they've
the
done.
bad and not the good? Why can't they have one 30-minute news and just bring all the good
Yes,
out?
the positive.
And all the positive.
We have a dictatorship already. We have no opposition in Parliament. Have we opposition? People seem to think Helen Zille is an opposition. She's not. She's a small little person in a big world.
My dream is for the country to think strong, be positive, and get the apprenticeships going so that all the youngsters can actually learn from people before them.
My dream is to see the country grow, all in positivity, to see, like Mark said, to let the youngsters, the youth of today, lead an honest life, and for those to follow them and be good leaders in our country.
My dream is for my daughter to have an opportunity in South Africa.
My dream is for South Africa to also just go on a positive and get all the young people, get them to colleges, and just everybody just walk their way, and everybody just be positive, live hand in hand, go hand in, walk hand in hand, and just make it work.
My dream is to see the Blue Bulls win the Super 15 this year.
Cool. Never!